Good evening. I want to welcome you to the second annual TAG Southeastern Software Association's Impact Awards. I'm Kevin George. I'm the chair of the Southeastern Software Association. And I wanted to just kind of welcome you here and kind of get this thing started. Hopefully you've enjoyed some food and got to see some people you haven't seen in a while or meet some people you haven't met yet. So I hope that that's a big part of this evening as well. Well, each year the SSA recognizes outstanding leadership in companies and their teams who build awesome software solutions that have a significant positive impact on their business, their customers, and the community around them. Applications, as you know, are judged on the complexity of the solution and the creativity of the solution, kind of weighted doubly by the business impact of the solution. And well, I said this is our second annual event. It is our second annual, but it's our first standalone event. Last year we were partnered up with the Spirit of Endeavor Awards, and what we found was that there was such an interest in doing an event on our own, notified by all the people here, that we should do our own event. And so thank you for all your interest and support in making this event happen. We appreciate you. We appreciate you doing that. We also expanded the number of categories this year. We had 3 last year, so we've kept the original 3, which were for an independent software company, for internally developed software, a corporate IT group, and then the third one was for outsourced software development or a technology solution group. We added 2 additional this year for a couple reasons. One, there's a lot of really great things that are going on in Georgia, and Tina is going to talk a little bit more about where Georgia leads. So we've decided to recognize one of the areas in where Georgia leads each year as a Where Georgia Leads award. And this year we chose in healthcare IT as our first one we're recognizing. The 5th category is for earlier stage companies that are just doing some really cool stuff. One of the things that we have found in the 2 years that I've been chair on the SSA and my 3 years on the board prior to that is that the smaller, the earlier stage companies have a little bit more difficult time getting recognition here through the SSA. So we've reached out specifically for that. And so you'll see this thing called an emerging megatrend. And that ties into one of our other major events that we do each year, which is called the Megatrends in Software. And we do that each year, typically in April. Hopefully you guys can come out to that next April. I want to personally congratulate all the finalists. I tried to get around to all the different finalist groups because I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of background on why I want to congratulate you. It is a very competitive group. We had 30 applications, and between the top rated one and the bottom rated one, total scores, there was an 11% difference across the judges. So literally, we as a judging group were splitting hairs to determine who were going to be the finalists. And it's interesting, we had some people that have been in the software business a long time, almost as long as I have, that were involved in the judging. So these are people that understand what it takes to build the solutions that you guys build. So congratulations. It was a really, really difficult judging task. There's some fantastic companies, fantastic applications that have been built, and just congratulations on that. Just a little bit about Georgia and the software industry here. We are one of the top 10 states in terms of employment in the software industry. And a little bit more about the Southeast. If you take Georgia and the 5 surrounding states, Alabama, Tennessee, North and South Carolina, and Florida, we're actually number 2 in software employment in the country. The Southeast has a vibrant and growing software industry here. And Georgia is a part of that, TAG is a big part of that, and the SSA has been a big part of that over the years. You're going to hear a little bit more about that from Tino and from John Yates as well, coming up in a minute. But I think that's proof that innovation in software and leadership in software doesn't just happen in the Silicon Valley or in a Route 128 loop. It happens right here in the Southeast, and it happens because of you. So thanks again, and congratulations. I think it's a great time to be involved in the software industry here in Georgia. One of the recent things, and maybe Tina will talk a little bit more about this as well, is that recently Georgia was ranked #1 in the nation for entrepreneurial activity. I don't know if you knew that or not. You put that together with our growing and vibrant software industry here, this is a really good time, a really good place to grow a software company. I know John's going to talk a little bit about that as well. Before we get kicked off on the program, I want to thank our sponsors, our Society Gold sponsors, Escrow Associates, our Silver sponsors and hosts, Alston and Bird, our in-kind Platinum sponsors, Right to Market, our in-kind Gold sponsors, West Reed, our table sponsors, Primus Software, Possible Now, Blue Ridge, Landcope, Digital Ascent, and Ortec. Thank you all very much. This event couldn't have been done without you guys. Appreciate that. I also want to thank our board members. If you're on the SSA board, if you could please stand. Thank you guys very much. And the Impact Awards Committee, I know we've got a couple people back in the corner. Any other committee members, please stand up. Chris, Marcy, etc. Please stand up. These guys put in an enormous amount of work on putting this event together. You too, Chris. Yeah, you. Thank you. You guys did a great job of putting this together. Thank you. And last, and certainly not least, Era Williams, could you come here for a moment, please? Era is our tag liaison, and I can tell you she spends an enormous amount of time working with the SSA. She keeps us all in line, but also does an enormous amount of work. And without Era, this event nor the SSA would be as far along as we were today. So I want to personally thank you, Era, for all the work. Thank you.